Human trafficking is a worldwide problem that each country faces daily. Out of all the countries in the world, Russia is one of the worst when it comes to this topic, which the causes and effects both bringing no good news. Throughout my lifetime, I have always been aware of sex trafficking occurring, but I was surprised to learn how it is happening in Russia could possibly affect any of us one day. As a student here at Abilene Christian, I always look for ways to help those in need. Whether it be a small act versus going on a mission trip, you never know what truly is going on in the world until digging deeper like I have done on this topic. My main point today is that sex trafficking in Russia causes irreparable damage. There are numerous causes of why human trafficking occurs in Russia, but my focus will be on the profit it brings to those in charge. With such a large profit to be made, the treatment of those enslaved is usually harsh, not caring about the effects it may have on these people. Along with the money it brings in for those operating it, the consequences these slaves suffer go further than just the people directly affected. Let me start with how the money is a major cause of human trafficking in Russia. The main causes of human trafficking in Russia are due to traffickers wanting to make a profit and some cultures devaluing women as a whole. Sex traffickers take advantage of other circumstances, whether the setting is unfamiliar or simply they are just vulnerable. On 11/9/2018, Micah Hartman posted to the Exodus Road a news article that stated that vulnerability causes opportunity. This means that anybody who is vulnerable in these unfamiliar places are able to easily be targeted for sex trafficking. Also, he stated that it brings in a whole lot of money for those in charge. Phil Turoff posted to Portland State's Honors College website in 2016, and he said a testimony about a girl named Marika. She was a woman coming from a poor background who was just looking to get out of her situation, and she agreed to take a waitress job. This waitress job ended up being a sex trafficking ring, and she was pulled in easily just from her unfamiliarity with the place. Women and children are easier targets, bringing more of a profit than men. On this graph that I have right here, presented by the U.S. Department of State in 2019, it shows that 53% of the people in Russia were actually children, and then 32% were women, and then 15% were men. This goes directly into my conversation as women and children are more profitable, as shown from the statistics of the U.S. Department of State. In a 2010 journal written by Jennifer Hartle of Iowa University, she said that an economic collapse in Russia is a main cause of why this is happening, because people are hard on money and they just can't find more resources, so they tend to go to an easy route such as human trafficking. Also, forced migration from other countries into Russia, again going back to the unfamiliarity of the area, brings about more and more victims. As well, another cause is that there are illegal adoptions taking place in Russia, which just means basically that they sell them off, which is considered part of human trafficking. In another news article written by the Tajikistan News on June 29, 2018, it states that Russia is in tier 3 of human trafficking, which is the worst tier you can actually be in. This means that above all other countries, Russia is among the worst in the world among human traffickers. From the information I have just provided to you, you as an audience can see that money is a major cause of human trafficking in Russia. This allows me to continue directly into my next topic of how the effects of sex trafficking go further than those directly involved. The effects of human trafficking in Russia are detrimental to those directly affected, as well as those who are not. People who are directly enslaved have lifelong issues that stay with them even if they are rescued. Taking from Hartman's post that I have previously noted, it stated that victims actually have mental trauma from their effects or from the sex trafficking, and as well as they lack an independent style of living. Turoff also stated from my previous post in the Portland State that gender inequality means not often that these women are given the help that they actually need. This causes lifelong effects that actually are very detrimental to their health long term. Those who are not directly affected can see issues arise in their lives through different circumstances, such as viruses. In the same article by Hartle of Iowa, she stated that it's actually a human rights violation, as well as the diseases and viruses can be spread to those who aren't even involved in the sex trafficking. And then in Turoff's journal again, it stated that there are a larger number of women in the world, so they are easier targets as well. And then there is no equality in some of these countries, so some don't even notice that these women are missing. Keeping the evidence that I have just stated to you in your head, let me conclude. As you can tell, Russia's problem with sex trafficking can cause irreparable damage to a variety of different people. With money being a main cause of human trafficking in Russia, it is no wonder those in charge treat the people enslaved so poorly. Money can make people do terrible things, as one of them being shown in this speech. Those who are taken from their everyday lives and put into this situation feel the lifelong effects, most which they cannot overcome by themselves. Upon looking further into the facts, people who have no ties to this problem can be affected due to the lasting consequences such as viruses it brings. Now that you are more educated in the causes and effects of human trafficking in Russia, I ask you as an audience to help fight in ending this horrific human trafficking incident going on in Russia. Thank you.